Hey guys, welcome back to L&D Home, and if you are new, welcome to our channel. Now, I just want to tackle a few things that I've been putting off, things that I really need to do but just haven't found the time to do, or just haven't focused the time on really. So that's what we're doing in today's video. All right, first things first is these doors. I have talked about these doors before. I have done many refreshes inside here, one actually recently where I turned this into hi. My comfy clothes. Here I am in my comfy. I probably should change this because I'm about to use black paint, but I probably won't. And I'm just going to hope for the best because I'm warm and cozy and I want to keep it on. But I just did a video where we made this kind of our cleaning closet. I will link that in the cards down below in case you're interested. But when I did that video, I said that there was a wheel missing or something on the bottom. It was scraping. So I had painted this on camera. If I can find that video, I will share that one as well. And if you can see, it's just all like scraping off. Because this door used to get really, like I would have to like put my back into it, yank the door. Well, my husband fixed it for me because he is fabulous. I thought there was a wheel missing on the bottom. I don't know if I should look here, there. I don't know where I'm looking. I thought there was a wheel on the bottom. Apparently there wasn't. It actually was one up at the top where you can actually make it go up and down to bring the door up or down. So he brought the door up some for me, and now it's just sliding like a figure skater. Okay, maybe not that good, but it's definitely much better. So I'm thinking that I can do a lot of these touch-ups without it like scraping the bottom off, dinging the sides, because I was getting like angry with the door. Like, you see all that? I was like slamming the door into the other side because I just wanted it to open. So we are going to do a little bit of touch-up on these doors. They look pretty decent, but there's definitely some spots that need to be touched up. And for that, we are going to be using this. This is what I used originally. I had just run out. I actually got this on Amazon, so I will link it down below because I didn't feel like dragging myself to Lowe's or Home Depot. Lowe's is our place, honestly. But I didn't feel like dragging myself to the hardware store. So this is the Ultra Cover. It's a latex paint, so it's not super easy cleanup if you get it on something like your cozy white sweater. But it is in flat black. So I'm going to be using this and just a very small like craft brush to go ahead and brush this on in some of the touch-up spots. So I'm just using a very tiny brush. This stuff is a little bit messy. And like I said, I had already painted this whole thing. So really just a few spots that I needed to touch up. The bottom is going to be where the majority of the work comes into play, like the track it slides on. So right now I'm just touching up some spots here on the side. I did start working on the bottom and realized rather quickly, hey, you probably should have cleaned all that dust and stuff out. So just wait. We'll be doing that, I promise.
You got a smile that makes the sun rise. You make it shine. But I can see that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love. 'Cause you got style, the way your body makes my heart beat sound. It's amazing.
So we are now many days later from when we started painting the frame for our glass sliding door for the cleaning closet. Just life. And then my husband and I were working outside today trying to solve the pool disaster, which we are not filming because it's just a disaster. Maybe I'll film some clips like here and there, but it's a very stressful situation. But that's a story for another day. We are going to get back to this project. What I am going to do now is I'm going to work on the bottom, but I am going to actually use a new tool that I got from Amazon, I believe. Yes. Let me show you. So I picked up a pack of these like cleaning brushes that everyone is like talking about. I can't remember if it came with 4 or 5, but I will have them linked down below if you're interested. I need to clean all of like the gross kind of debris and dust and dog hair and stuff out of the little crevice, the track where the door kind of slides, so that we can paint that, because that is the part that was chipping the most because the door was like getting stuck and dragging. So I'm going to use this to kind of clean all that out, vacuum it up, and then we are going to go in there with that same paint that we were using on the frame. So far, I really like this tool. It will be linked in the description box below, like I said. I really like this tool. I've used it here and then a couple other places off camera. I will be incorporating it into some of my cleaning videos because I just think it is very, very handy to get into some of those really like hard to reach spots. So I would recommend grabbing yourself a pack of these. I feel like they definitely came in clutch for this project. Here I go again with my teeny tiny paintbrush. This was definitely some very like tedious work, but since I had painted the whole thing, it wasn't too bad. But if you're thinking about painting your closet doors, definitely know it's going to take you some time because you have to let it dry for a while before you slide the other side over. And it's definitely a process, but I love it so much better than that kind of outdated gold. So it's definitely worth it, but it's definitely going to take you a few days to get this project accomplished because of dry time.
See that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love. 'Cause you got style, the way your body makes my heart beat sound. It's amazing all the time. You are the only thing I need in life. Oh, I want you. Can't you see? I want you. I believe, 'cause I want you. We do this every day, we do this love for life. You got a smile that makes the sun rise. You make it shine, but I can see that you don't realize.
Another project that I want to do, should be pretty quick, is just replace this rug. We have washed it a few times and it's just getting kind of like worn out. So I think I'm going to wash it again, but then just save it in case I need it in a different space. It just keeps getting caught underneath the door here. Eventually too, I do need to fix this like weather stripping bit. I think I'm just going to cut this little piece here off. I eventually need to do something with the bottom of that, but that's a story for a different day again. Also, I think I'm going to use that little cleaning brush that I was using. I hope you can see me. Can you see me? Let's hope. That cleaning brush to get in some of these like crevices. I might as well clean the floor while I'm down here because there is rug tape underneath here. And it is a pain to get up, I must tell you. So I actually really love the rug tape. It's pretty strong, which is good. But it definitely can be a bit of a challenge to get up. I wouldn't go just like ripping it up if you're using it on kind of like a hard floor like this. If you're using it on carpet, perfectly fine. But the first time I kind of pulled it up to replace it with some new pieces, it pulled on the floor a little bit. So just be careful. But I actually really do like it, and it definitely keeps the rugs in place. And it works out really, really well. So I will have that link down below as well. And I do recommend it if you have any rugs that are just slipping and sliding all over the place. It will definitely work wonders to help them stay in place.
Even if you tried, you wouldn't understand it. Maybe something's missing inside of you. Just a bit of sugar to that horrid bitter. Maybe you taste different. Hold up, baby. I can sit beside you while you're going on about your simple life. Nothing left you thinking that maybe you're not different.
So we are going to be wrapping up this project. We painted the whole frame, well, touched up the frame, and then painted this bottom bit. But as you can see, I got paint all over the floor. I wasn't really trying to be that careful. And then I was trying to touch up this side bit. I don't know if you can tell, I got some paint there on the mirror. So we are just going to be scraping that off. And I am just going to be using this blade from my X-Acto knife to do that. So we got all that all taken care of, the bottom. Yes, it is a different day. It's taking multiple days to do these tiny projects just because of my life right now, but it probably would have taken one day if I had a whole day. But anyway, we are going to get this window clean. There's definitely some smudges. Of course, it's not going to show on camera, is it? But it's not exactly clean. So we're using my favorite products to clean windows and mirrors. It's my e-cloth. If you're not new, you know I love the window cleaning e-cloth. I use it for windows and mirrors. You just get your cleaning, kind of the waffle rag, really, really soaking wet. I usually do like half at a time with these tall like doors. Do the top half, get everything nice and like squeaky clean, scrub, scrub, scrub. And then you come in with your polishing cloth and it just makes everything shiny and beautiful. And I am terrible at cleaning mirrors, terrible. This is the only thing I will use to clean mirrors because it is so easy peasy to use and it gets it perfect every single time. And this is what we have. It looks a lot like before, to be completely honest, but I can definitely tell when I'm walking by or I'm in the home that the bottom just looks so much better. So this next project is going to seem really silly, but I need to tighten the door handles. They're wobbling. And I do want to see if I can get some of this paint off from when I painted the door. I have some on that handle. And then a little bit on the side of this handle. This is our linen closet. I would show you a better angle, but our hallway is yay wide. So I can only get such an angle. Like I'm literally hugging the wall right now. But I'm just going to use some rubbing alcohol to see if I can get some of that paint off. And then I need to tighten the doorknobs. And I might just go ahead and go through and check like our daughter's room right there. That's our bedroom. And then my beauty room right here. So I might just go ahead and just check all of those. This actually worked better than I expected. It did take a little bit of elbow grease, but the rubbing alcohol definitely got the paint off of these metal doorknobs. And I did, I think, two doorknobs, this one in the inside and the outside, and then the one that is on the linen closet as well. And I would definitely recommend this because it made it super quick and easy. To finish off today's projects, I'm going to be working on this bench. I recently redid our mudroom. Please ignore the random tripod and box over there. But I recently redid the mudroom and I was trying to figure out, like, do I want to keep this bench in here? It used to be underneath one of these, that one on the bottom. It was a bench that my grandpa had built and it used to be covered in like this pink fabric with batting because my grandma used to love pink. She went through like a pink phase. And I ended up with it and I had ripped all the batting off, and this used to be at the end of our bed, and then we moved it in here just because I didn't want to get rid of it. And then I was like, oh, I don't know, I don't really use it, I should get rid of it. And my husband was like, no, don't do that. And even some of you guys said, keep it, it's an heirloom, a family member made it, it is special and important. So I do like it here. I am going to keep it, but it needs a little love. So this whole thing was covered in fabric with like a million staples. So you didn't see any of that. But what I want to do is fill all those holes and like the crevices and stuff, paint it. I think I'm going to keep it white. And then like this piece is like peeling off. I think I'm just going to take this piece off because it's smooth underneath. So I don't really need that piece on there. But I'm still going to keep it white. I'm just going to repaint it white, but I do want to do like a wooden top, I think. I don't know if I'll get to the wooden top in today's video. We'll have to see if I have any scrap wood that is that size or if I have to go out and buy some. But I am going to start filling all of this nonsense, give it like a little bit of a kind of like a sand so the paint will adhere, and just give it like a fresh coat. So I'm actually using like plaster putty or something. It's just something we had laying around, and I didn't have too much like spackle left, you know, like the pink stuff that then like dries clear, not clear, white. Um, and I'm like, this is not probably the right material for the job. I actually really, really liked the way that it went on. And yes, I am using like a cake decorating thing. I actually found this way easier because I could smooth out the edges like you would when you were baking a cake, which I'm terrible at. But it was much easier than just kind of like using a putty knife and slapping it on and trying to get everything smooth. You could really kind of twist and turn your hand with this cake decorating tool that I already had in my stash for home projects. I wasn't using it for cakes anymore. So, but I really liked this like plaster putty. Like I said, I don't think it's the right material, but it made filling all of those little cracks and crevices so much easier. I felt like it was just easier to work with, and it sanded really nicely. Now it kicked up a ton of dust, obviously, because plaster, but it sanded really, really nicely. So I'm okay with the fact that I used the wrong product on this because it got me to the end result that I wanted.
I guess it never hit you.
So I definitely couldn't get it perfect, but I did my best. I'm sure I'm not using like the correct product, but also my grandpa was not a like make sure your boards are straight and like measure exactly kind of person. He was like, I'm putting this together, I'm doing this. And then when it didn't work out, he got angry. And then always finished it. Always finished it. But there's definitely some spots that are like, it's hard to get even because the surface is not even. Like it's not a smooth board or it's like crooked. But hey, it adds to the character of my grandpa built this. So I did as much as I could. These are the original handles that my grandpa had used. And they used to be like gold. And I had already given them kind of a coat of black. You can see it's chipping a little bit. Although I do not love the kind of fanciness of them. I am going to keep them because it was the original ones he put on. So I just kind of cleaned them up because they were very, very dusty. They're still a little bit wet in some of the corners. And I'm just going to give them a quick coat of another matte black spray paint just to kind of freshen them up a little bit. Because, guys, these are vintage, okay? You're not going to be... Oh, it's upside down. I don't know if you can see that. It says 1984. I'm assuming that 1984 is vintage now because apparently they have like the Razor phones and the flip phones and stuff in a museum somewhere, like a Discman, you know, like you used to put your CD in there and like walk around with it, and it was non-skip, but it always skipped. Apparently those are in museums now. So, hey, I'm calling these handles vintage. So it is now the next day. This stuff took like 6 hours to dry, so I decided to just let it dry overnight because when I did this, it was like 5 p.m. and there was no way I was waiting till 10 or 11 to start sanding this thing. I was going to be in bed. So the next morning, I just got up and gave it a good sand. I hand sanded it just because I was afraid to do too much like with my, you know, electric sander. My hand was a little bit cramped, but like I said, this stuff sanded really nicely. So it wasn't actually too bad.
Hold up, baby, I can sit beside you while you're going on about your simple life. Nothing left you thinking that maybe you're not different. Go block your ego.
I sanded as much as I could, tried to vacuum everything up. But I think I'm going to, since I already have the caulk out because I was doing stuff in this room, just caulk some of the seams so that when I paint it, it's a little bit more seamless. Like, let's get a closer look. Like just in here, and you're not going to see the underneath of this, but I do want to do it as best as possible. So just trying to caulk some of these seams. The most ancient of caulk guns, I think I got this at a garage sale, is the DAP Alex Flex, and it is paintable. So I just like to make sure whatever caulk I get is paintable, especially if I'm going to be using it for a project where obviously I want to paint it. So it's really hard to film in all these nooks and crannies, and we're also waiting on our rock delivery. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw caulks in the seams here, let that dry. It dries in about, I want to say 30 minutes you can paint it, but it'll probably be longer than that it's going to sit. So I'm going to do all of these seams that I can see, and then I'm going to flip the bench over the other way, do any, excuse me, do any seams that I missed, and then probably stand it up and see if there's any seams on the outside that I need to get. If you're thinking, wait a minute, Lene, you said you were painting it white. I decided to go with black. I actually wanted to do a green color. I thought I had a sample or some samples left from when we did our accent wall in the living room. And I guess in my decluttering chaos one time, I threw all those samples away because I didn't actually really love the colors and I wasn't going to use them for a wall. So I just X-nayed them. But so then I was like, okay, I had some like neutral colors and I just wasn't vibing. And I decided, you know what, I really love this milk paint that I used on our bathroom cabinets. And I decided to go ahead and just paint this whole thing black. And I know it's a dramatic change, but it turns out looking really, really good. The milk paint went on pretty well in most areas, but there's definitely more than one type of wood here. My grandpa just used whatever he had, I guess. So it definitely went on different on some pieces than on others. But after 2 good coats and a few little touch-up spots here and there, I was able to get everything nice and fully covered. And the milk paint is holding up really well, just like it's held up really well in our bathroom. So I know black is very dramatic. We weren't expecting it. We were expecting me to paint it white like I paint everything else. But you know what? I like the little like moody kind of vibe of this black bench. So this is the first coat so far. I got everything except for that little inside bit and then the other side, like up the bottom. I tried to get everything else and the top because we're going to be putting a stained like wood top on it. But it definitely, hold on, let me stand up. It definitely is going to need another coat because it's a little bit splotchy, which it was the first time I used it in the bathroom on the cabinets anyway. Everything needs at least 2 coats. So no matter what paint you're using, even if they say 1 coat, you probably need 2 or at least 1 in a touch up. So I am liking it in here. I'm hoping it's not going to be too dark for the room, but if I think I do a lighter wood top, like something kind of like the bar right there, which is just whatever bar they had up there, something like that, that's not too dark, I think it will look really good in here. I did get some paint on the floor, so we're hoping that we're going to get that up later. I'm not going to worry about it right now. It's already in there. I didn't notice it right away. I'll figure it out later, but it's looking pretty good, and it's looking black on camera, but like in person, it's looking more of a really deep charcoal gray, at least with the first coat. So I'm liking it so far. I think it looks pretty good. So we're going to let this dry for probably like an hour, maybe more, because I'm going to jump back out there and help him. And then, yeah, and then we'll come back and we'll do a second coat on the parts that are already here. Let that dry really good before I flip it over and do that little bit underneath and then the other side of that leg. That will be all I would have to paint and any touch-ups. So far so good. I'm going to put my paintbrush in a Ziploc bag, put the lid back on the paint can, and get outside and go help him. So here are my handles that I just painted black and a giant tree. I was going to use the rub and buff. Like, I had just painted these black, but I was going to use the rub and buff, but I think it might just be easier for me to use spray paint. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't have a lot of this left, though. This is aged brass. We were just at Menards last night, and I didn't get any because I couldn't remember what kind I had. I don't have a lot of this left because we painted a lantern with it. I hope I have enough left to cover these 2 handles that go on the side of the bench, though. So I am going to hope for the best with that. And, you know, if there's a little peek through of black that looks, you know, purposeful, kind of look like the oil rubbed bronze maybe. So I was looking in my craft room to see if I had a scrap piece of wood that big. We do not have one in the craft room or the garage. So While I was down there, though, I did find these. I've had these for a while. It's not picking up. It's kind of like a green tone, the inside of the shelf. I got these from the Target dollar spot like a long time ago. And I had them and took them down and never used them again. So obviously they're quite dusty. So I think I'm going to wipe these down, and I'm going to put them maybe here on the side of this mirror. Like I already have a nail in there, where there was like a welcome sign. So I'm not exactly sure. Like maybe I'll do 2 right here, something like that, just to bring in that green. And then I could possibly put some gold accents or something, a little figure, something like that on there to tie in the gold that's going to be on the handles, because the rest of this doesn't have any gold whatsoever. I did also think about spray painting this. Just got these little trays that come in here. Spray painting this with some gold. I am not sure yet, though, what I am going to. So this is what we're looking like right now. I did do some like baseboard painting, just like off camera. Like I said, you guys are going to see that in later videos, and then just touched up this. Please ignore that. A picture frame's going back there. But we are going to wrap up our bench situation, but not fully. Since I don't have any wood that fits this, I'm going to save that for a different video where I complete this project, but I am going to put the bench back in place, get everything like back set up again, so it doesn't look an absolute hot mess, and put the handles back on and everything, and just kind of wrap up that part. And then I am going to hang those shelves that I was talking about somewhere over here. So let's go ahead and wrap up this project for now, and wrap up this video. All right, side note. So that kind of hole that you saw on the wall there where it like ripped off the finish of the wall, let me know if you guys like command hooks. I hear so many people talking about command hooks, and while they are very convenient that you don't have to like nail something up and you can actually have a hook and put something on it, for the life of me, they just never come off without ripping something off of the wall. I pull down slowly and, really take my time taking those command hooks off. And for some reason, 9 times out of 10, it damages my surface, even though they're not supposed to. So just out of curiosity, let me know in the comments down below. Are you guys struggling with command hooks too, or is it just me and I'm just a weirdo and cannot take them off properly? Anyway, let me know, because I'm just curious. Like, I keep buying them knowing that they're going to get on my nerves. So here I am just hanging up the shelves. At further look, now that they're in the room, they're a little bit more blue. So I'm almost thinking about actually painting the inside of them green. I know we're doing too much, but they're a little bit more blue toned, and that blue tone is not really in the wallpaper that I put up. But for now, they look really cute, and we're just going to keep them like they are. And here we have the halfway final reveal of the bench. We still have to put on that wood top, which will be coming up in a video, I promise. But I do really like the way it turned out. Now I'm kind of like, is there too much black? But I do really love it, and I really love the pop of the gold handles. I am really kind of vibing with that, and I think it looks so much better. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you found it helpful, or at least entertaining. Make sure you check out the video and the playlist on the screen. And as always, smash that subscribe button so you can become part of our YouTube family. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.